several times with clients and with one of my own films. A lot of people go, "Oh, I'm just going to attach talent and a name and I'm going to get financing." Well, unfortunately, a lot of times people don't look into what this talent brings. Is this the right film for them to even be involved in? And you look at, part of that's analytics, but part of that is you can go to a distributor and go, "Hey, I've got," and this happened to me. I had an actor, which name his name, a well-known actor attached. And I went to a distributor and I said, "Hey, I've got this guy." And he was like, "Oh, well, good luck." I was like, "You don't want to distribute it?" And he goes, "Nobody wants to work with him."
Hmm.
And, it was one of those things I didn't know about. You need to do your research on everything. I think people go, "Oh, I'm just going to attach talent." There's a lot of things in between. Unless you know somebody's like your neighbor and, hang out at a swimming pool all the time and he's major talent or her. I think you have to go through the process of getting a casting director on board. You have to go to the agencies and the managers, and they want to know that you're financed. They want to know you have distribution. So there's a lot of steps that you need to employ before you get to the point of casting. Doing analytics is one of those because, Jeff will tell you, you don't want that person in this film. You get to the marketing part of it, and they're doing social media, and it turns out that person is not somebody that people are following in social media, and the distributor doesn't want to have to take a chance on that. So there's a lot of steps before you think about casting that you need to get involved with. And somebody asked the question I saw in the chat that,
Hmm.
when you bring somebody like Jeff Hardy on, if you're going to develop a project and you come to a company like ours, we'll go, "Okay, here's what we're going to do. We're going to do development budget, which is just the costs associated with development, bringing on somebody to do analytics, doing a budget schedule, getting your legal formation, all those elements." One of the first things we do is analytics and a budget and schedule, because the people who do the budget and schedule will work with Jeff. And, when you talk about people go, "Oh, my budget's 10 million." Based on what? Well, it's 10 million. Okay. So there's one thing people don't understand, which they need to, is there is a floor and there is a ceiling to a budget. The floor is your burn rate. That is your day out of days schedule. You've got X number of days, X number of scenes in the script. You're going to be at this location on this day with these actors and this crew and this equipment. And you got to pay for, fees and all this other stuff. That's your burn rate, your floor, times how many days you're going to be on the set. That's what it's going to cost. You have a ceiling. The ceiling is when Jeff Hardy gets involved, he goes through and does the data and he says, "Okay, here we go. We've got this. Here's your market. Here's what your audience saturation point is. Somewhere between the floor and the ceiling is going to be your budget, because you're going to have the basics and you're going to go, well, if I add this and this element, which costs this and this, I can get this much more money." So somewhere between those elements is where your budget's going to land. You don't know. Jeff once said a budget's going to be what it's going to be, not what you want it to be. And he's been proven on that over and over. It's correct.